just love being a girl. So I have these experiences a lot when I go into stores. I don't know.
I 100% agree with that creator. I love being a girl. I love when other girls come up to me and ask me questions like, hey, do you know about this? Hey, do you know about that? Because it makes my day to help somebody. If you don't know, I am a crochet baddie and I spend my life in Michael's. It gets to a point. So I was standing there and I needed this because I was making a blanket for somebody. And one girl goes, oh my gosh, that's huge. What are you making? I'm like, a blanket. And she goes, can you help me? I don't know what to do. I've never crocheted, but I want to get into a hobby. That's all it took for me. I had nothing to do that day. I'm unemployed. I had nothing to do. So I was like, yes, I'll help you. So first, I was like, what materials do you have? She had a needle like this. Look how thin this is with black yarn. I was like, ooh, girl, you are going to struggle. Not struggle, you're going to struggle. So then I asked her, are you okay with spending money? Because this is not a cheap hobby. She was like, yeah, I'm okay dropping some money in this. I said, okay, perfect. Get a set. A set, and I also told her to start with 6 because then you can see the stitches and it's big enough that where it's easy to maneuver but not like super huge. And then I told her get a light yarn so you can see the stitches and how to maneuver and how to do all these things. We're standing in the middle of Michael's, by the way. And I also told her get the little hooks so you can like have it as a stitch counter, or you just put it to hold things, or if you just don't feel like crocheting anymore, put it in there because you don't want your projects to unravel. And then I told her to get a caker. Cake your yarn. It is so much easier for beginners to cake your yarn. It's easier for anybody, honestly, but it's so irritating when you're crocheting and you didn't cake your yarn. Now it's tangled in the middle, or you're like trying to figure out what to do. So cake your yarn. I told her I got this one from Amazon and it's actually cheaper than the one in the store. So I said, get it from Amazon. And then I wanted to tell her, you got to know how to block your projects. And she was like, block, what's that? I'm like, blocking is a process. So depending on what yarn you have to block it to stretch it out, to make it more flowy. She didn't know any of this. I'm like, yeah, let me tell you, because nobody told me. I thought you could just make a project and that's it. It's like, no, you got to block them. So I was telling her all these things. And then I also gave her, YouTube links to the YouTubers that I like that personally helped me. So I'm like, if you want to crochet this person helps and it's really easy and they show you step by steps. Because some people would just put like SC, DC, this, that, and it's like, well, what does that mean? And it's like, well, I give the people who properly explain it. And we are chatting like we're lifelong friends. So I've said this before, but where the Michaels is, there's like a kind of like a plaza. She was like, do you want to go get something to drink with me? And I'm like, sure. Mind you, I was not afraid of getting kidnapped before. Anybody says this, I have pepper spray, I have my taser. It was light outside. And she was just like, I just really want to know more about this if you're not busy. I'm like, say less. So not only did we get the supplies that she needed, and we also got her a blocking board. When we sat in there, I was showing her how to crochet and how to like make a slip knot, and I was sitting with her working on how to do it, how to make a slip knot. Well, the way I do it, I told her there's easier ways to do it. You can find what suits you, but this is just how I do it. We're sitting there and we're crocheting granny squares, and I was like, "Ooh, see, like the start off the chain is a little tight. You got to be able to get your crochet hook in it with ease." And she's like, "Oh, so I'm sitting there, and we're sitting in this place." She actually did buy me a drink. I told her she didn't have to, but she was so happy that I was helping her and took the time to do this. And we're sitting in Dunkin' Donuts, crocheting and drinking our drinks. And to this day, we still follow each other on Instagram, and we'll always like post each other's projects, or we'll be like, "Hey, look what I made," and she's like, "How did you make that?" I'm like, "Oh, that's cool. Do this instead." And so when I make a project and I post it, she's like, "How did you do this?" I'll send her the tutorial that I followed or the work that I like base it off of, and said, "Yeah, I did this little twist. It was so amazing." And I'm not a gatekeeper. I made this headband and this headband with a strap using the same yarn. And she was like, "Oh my gosh, how did you do that?" I'm like, I showed her how to make a headband like this. Like you go into the back stitch, you don't go into both stitches. And then this one, I sent the tutorial that I actually followed. And I was like, here you go. And she was like, is it okay if I use this same exact yarn? I'm like, girl, I don't care. We don't gatekeep over here. Do what makes you happy. So we always just like go back and forth with what we crocheted and how we crocheted it. She knows that I'm making a lotus duster, or I made my lotus duster. I'm just making sleeves and stuff now to attach it. And she goes, one day I want to try that. I'm like, you can try it. There's no time like the present. So I sent her the link to that, and she's working on that too. So it's like, it's just so fun. I also forgot, I told her to get some of these yarn needles and get some in different sizes because you never know like what size yarn you're gonna need, and it's just nice to have these on deck. Like the original creator said, I love being a girl's girl. I don't mind taking time out of my day to help somebody when it's a hobby that I really, really love. Because if it's a hobby you love, there's no shame in sharing it. So it was just fun. It was so fun. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I have a new crochet friend. She sends me things often. I send her things often. It's just great. I love when like minded people pop up on my For You page because it's like, oh, it's like, we're the same.